How's it guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you guys a race that I entered on Sunday. This is with the LNR championship that I raced. If you have a look at some of my other videos, the live streams that I did with them. So I stood in for a mate of mine. You'll notice on the side it says their Phantom Pace. So it's the team that I'm racing for. It's KLM Pace in the front, and then I Phantoms, who usually races in the Porsche with him. So wet race at Spa. It was actually a very interesting race. I thought it'd be a one-stopper, so obviously selection of wet tires. It was 13 laps, a little bit of a fuel-saving race, and I'm racing back on my controller. So for me, it was a matter of trying to preserve the tires as much as I can. But like I say, some fast guys. I can see that LNR has grown quite a lot. It's not what it used to be back in the day. Much better racing. People are far more conservative about their lines and passing opportunities, understanding racing a bit more, which is actually quite good to see. So penalty through a Rouge, I outbraked myself, ran a little bit wide. I've got MUFC fighting me for position in the Porsche as well. I wanted to see if I could at least just hold the inside, and as you can see, it gives me a decent amount of space, and vice versa. I left him space through here, no contact, held the position. So guys in the front, I thought I could be a lot quicker. My quali time was an 38.3. So it was a 2 minutes 38.3 in the wet. Fastest time was pace on a 36, low 36s. I could go faster. I could get down to about a 37.2, 37.3. I just couldn't get a clean lap in quali. So guys in front, you'll see I started to drop off. I thought, okay, let me just hold it here, short shifting. I wanted to try and get into the slipstream with berries in front of me, and I saw the guys battling in front of him. So again, I thought, let me just conserve the tires, let me save a little bit of fuel. I don't want to spin. Obviously on Spa, it's quite a bit of time if you do spin here, and such a long track with lots of straights, you're going to lose out quite a lot. So I thought, let me hold back, let me just be conservative, see if these guys can hold each other up so I can catch up, or at least stay in the slip to save some fuel, and then potentially get the undercuts. I was going for a 6-7, so pit in at the end of lap 6 and then finish 7 laps towards the end. So going through the field, pace absolutely dominated. Spoiler alert, pace won by a huge margin. So pace got away in the front, lifting and coasting. I see what you're doing now, young man. Oh no, it's a bit of lag. So pace is running on a different internet line, so you'll notice a bit of lag from his side. Thank God he was all the way at the front. Behind him we got Kenny. Kenny held on to pace for a bit, and then pace just dropped the hammer. Behind him was DMR Fluffy Butt, who I actually raced last night in the Manufacturers Cup, and he won. Massive potential in that class. I placed, I don't know, top 10 I think, or 11th or something, and Fluffy Butt cleaned up, qualified near the front and finished in first, so well done to you. Behind him was Berries. So Berries, we raced Pool A couple weeks ago. I stood in for pace. I think it was Berries I had a little colliding with in quali. Long story short, I came out the pits, had a cuck line, and I got in his way. Sorry about that, bud. Then it's myself trying to kill my penalty. Behind me is FLAs, excuse me, and FL started to catch me quite quickly, so I was watching him very closely behind me, and I thought, well, if he does get close to me, I'll just run a defensive line. It's difficult to pass in the wet, especially around Spa. OJ, you guys have seen him in some of the live streams that I've done. Nitro Blick. Then we've got MUFC, the other Porsche that I was up against. Okay, Sprinkler, and then GTP GTI. He was the host of the session, never raced against GTP before, so I think I raced him in a lobby, and he was quite quick. Some good times on the manufacturer qualification board as well. I think it was actually top. Right, so pace, running away with it, as I said. Ken Sheep, nice little battle going on here with Fluffy Butt, and then Berries hanging behind, and like I say, I'm just trying to hold into the slipstream, but at the same time, trying to hold off FLH, which spun, and I didn't even see that. I saw he was catching me, and then I checked my rearview mirror and he was gone, and then OJ was behind me. So OJ, I kept an average of between 1.5 and 2 seconds, just kept him out my slipstream, which I was happy with. Didn't think that he would catch me, and then some places I was like, oh crap, he's catching me. So through the first sector I seemed to pull on him. The last sector, OJ was very sharp, very quick. So yeah, I wanted to just get that gap on him and try save as much fuel as I can, and at the same time preserving tires. Okay, So LNR looks like it's taken a nice direction. Pace and Phantom raced in Pool A. They were relegated thanks to my amazing performance. I don't know if that's the only reason, but I believe that was, and I came towards the back in the last race. So in Pool 2, a little bit less competitive. 2 teams went up, 2 teams went down. So it was Team Berries and was it Fluffy Butt, if I could be mistaken, and then myself, well, Phantoms and Pace dropped to Pool 2, and then 2 teams moved up to Pool A. Okay, so the battling starts, and with the battling brings me in nice and close. The difficult thing with this track being wet also, if you sit too close with the spray, you really can't see anything. So I try to keep a little bit of a gap, but at the same time you'll notice I just push my nose out a little bit to try to see past them, at the same time being able to see where my braking points are. But for me, Porsche, good combination. Porsche in the wet around Spa, made for an interesting race. I thought there'd be a lot more spins. Thought a lot more people would make mistakes. Unfortunately, that didn't happen from my side. Yeah. So I don't know if I run as a sub for Team EKZ. So if there is a position that somebody can't make a race on a Sunday, I tend to put my hand up and offer to race. So I don't do it all the time, but whenever there's opportunity, I jump in. Still spending a bit of time on this. We getting our rigs and stuff sorted out. So next couple of months, I should have my rig set up. I got my wheel here still. Plans are to get the rig, get everything up and running again, get ACC once it comes out on PS4, and then hopefully that goes to PS5, and I have the funds to buy myself a little PS5 when it comes out. Maybe move into the venturing of PC games. Well, nothing for now, probably in the next year or so, but start broadening the channel and offer a lot more racing. There's a lot of racing leagues in South Africa at the moment when it comes to ACC, iRacing, all of that. 24-hour, a lot of guys ask me what's going on with that. We're sitting in a little bit of a dilemma. We should be fine for July. We were supposed to do it this weekend, but we're still in a lockdown with no socializing. So being Gran Turismo without any driver changes, digital driver changes, as I've said before, we postponed it because we potentially got something happening on that that could become public, and we don't want to cause any rifts or create any controversy stating why are you guys together, blah blah blah. So we'll see how things go in July, and we'll announce it. It still is on. We've been practicing on a few lobbies. Still quite excited about that one. Right, so 2 Beetles fighting in front of me. DMR Fluffy Butt starts to pull away. You'll notice here, I did not brake myself. I just noticed that the 2 Beetles actually braked a little bit early, and I was straight down the middle. No contact, although I did ghost. So I had the inside. Ken Sheep, well done to him. He held the line, and I tried to go on the outside of Berries just to get my nose out for Sheep. And Berries had a big sideways, and I managed to get past both. So up to 3rd place. Right, so from here it was a matter of I hoped OJ was, like I say, he was rather decent behind me, and I hoped to get held up by the other 2 Beetles, and almost immediately got past them. So I checked in my mirror here, and OJ was right in front of these guys, and I was hoping, geez, come on, Ken, just get in front of him, hold him up a bit so I can at least get a bit of a gap. So in front of me, DMR Fluffy Butt started to pull away, getting lacquer wet in the convertible, and Pace, as I said earlier, running away with it completely. Okay, I'm going to hop forward a few laps. So I had a good race. Like I said, it was very clean. You can see my lap time there, 38.9. It was just a little bit faster than what I had in quali, although my tyres started to wear. Have a look at my fuel. So Pace in the front, Fluffy Butt, myself, all very much the same fuel. OJ's actually got less fuel than me at this point in time. Okay, Ken, and then Sprinkler, saving a lot of fuel. So at this stage, I was under the impression that everybody was going to do a one-stopper. So skipping to lap 6. So on lap 6, I decided, right, let me go for the undercut. A lot of guys are talking about a 7 and 6. So I jump into the pits. OJ obviously comes past me. Berries comes past me. I came out the pits in quite a bad position. So, change tyres, splash of fuel, not too much, just enough to get me through 7.5 laps, just so I could push a little bit more, 66% pull out. Right, so 11th place, second last. FLS obviously had that spin that I said earlier on. I want to just point something out here. So, DMR Fluffy Butt. I don't know if he did a pit stop. Yes, he did. He changed his tyres. So, DMR Fluffy Butt was in second place. So, I thought to myself, well, I got to get nice and close to this guy if I want to fight for second place, thinking everybody else is going to do a pit stop. Okay, Fluffy Butt gets the position of berries and has a spin. Let's have a look at that one. Now, I didn't know this until I came past. So I didn't see on the delta. So Fluffy Butt starts dropping down. There he spins again. And I come past. So when I saw that, I was like, alright, sweet. So I could potentially be on a second place. Or 1-2 for Team Phantom Pace, which was my plan. So from 10th place, now the guys in front of me obviously had bad tyres. I was still under the impression that they were going to pit in. Now it was a matter of starting to fight them. I didn't want them to hold me up before they did their pit stop. Okay, so Pace puts it in. OJ takes the lead. Okay, we all noticed that he actually doesn't. But on the timing screens, he takes the lead because Pace was still in the pits. Okay, Pace comes out. OJ's in second place. Ken Sheep jumped in the pits, which is someone that I was potentially fighting for position, so I came out in front of him. So 8th place, get in front of GTI, 7th place. Now I've got the other GTI to fight with of GTRSA. Right, so I eventually make the move on GTRSA. Dummy the inside, go the outside. Nice clean overtaking here. Through the left-hander. I've obviously got the new tyres. I've got the grip, get on the gas. And I start to chase MUFC. Right, so catch up to MUFC. I think the pressure started to kicking on MUFC, seeing me catching up with the Delta. Having a little bit worse tyres than me, he obviously couldn't match my grip. So I got the line on the inside. I don't know if he gave it to me. It looked a little bit easier than what it should be. So I started to get away from MUFC. Right, now I had the 3 guys in front of me, and I noticed on the 10th lap, I thought to myself, these guys aren't going to pit in. I need to hurry up a little bit. I need to start catching these guys. If they're not going to do a pit stop, I mean, geez, I've really got to push the game. So when I noticed, as I got past MUFC, Berries was about 6.5, 7 seconds in front of me, and I started to close 1.5 seconds a lap. You'll notice me dropping the hammer here. I started to pick up a lot of pace that I didn't have. So looking on board, nowhere to be seen. Berries is already going through towards the last 2 corners. Okay, so I'll make eyes on Berries here. There he goes. Okay, revving my car out a lot more now as well. There's Berries there. So working out of the Delta, I thought to myself, oof, coming up to 3 laps left, 6 seconds. I had to close 2 seconds a lap, which I was doing. But as you always say, it's easy to catch up, it's difficult to pass. So let's get to the end of lap 11. Here we go. So on lap 12. At this stage, I was about 3.5 seconds behind Berries, and Berries started to become a little snakier. I saw the Delta wouldn't move from 3.5 seconds. It was just constantly staying there. I thought I was catching up to him. Some sections I was quicker, some sections he was quicker. The straights that Beetle just hauled. But what I did realize is that he was catching third and second place. So I didn't mind it too much. I thought to myself, well, if Berries does catch up to Sprinkler and hold Sprinkler up, that could potentially give me some space to, catch and overtake, even if I pass on the outside, for example. So well done to you, Berries, for driving with the tires that you did and putting in some of the times that you did as well without traction control. Good man. Okay, so OJ running very defensive. Berries, and there I am right there. Okay, so like I say, I did slowly but surely start to catch everybody. At this stage, I started to pull Berries in quite a lot because he was getting held up by second and third place. So running on board down the straight, he was in the slipstream. He pulled his gap on me here, and I noticed going into the braking zones, that's where I started to pull in quite a lot. You'll notice my fuel's nearly finished. I still had about a lap of fuel left, so I didn't have to worry too much about that. So there, Sprinkler gets past OJ. So Sprinkler battling OJ for a couple laps. I thought to myself, okay, we might be a bit quicker. He'll get away, but let me still see if I can get that podium. I really wanted that third place. I really wanted to get Pace and Phantom a good amount of points, so I could get them back up to Pool A. Okay, looking on the right hand side, you'll see my fastest lap there is not highlighted. It was a 37.3 if I'm not mistaken. Right, so here I saw Berries starting to give OJ a bit of a hard time. So I thought to myself, right, I really need to get nice and close to these guys. One lap remaining. It was very unlikely that I would have caught and passed them, but if they go two abreast like this through corners, it's going to make it very difficult for them to hold me off. You'll see OJ. I don't know how you guys did it with your fuel saving in the last stint. I was a little bit upset, to be honest, that these guys did a no-stopper and it worked so well for them. Right, so coming into the last section here, going into the chicane, you'll notice how much closer I actually got to Berries. Alright, so coming into the last chicane, these two had a hell of a tussle. I think they each tried to outbrake each other, and by doing that, held each other up quite a lot. So Berries, nice sideways action, pushes OJ nice and wide. You'll notice me catching up in the back there. Berries gets on the gas a bit too much and loses it, and I get a fourth place, very close to second and third. Pace won by 30 seconds. I was 33 seconds behind. Pace was 2.5 seconds covering second, third and fourth. So very good race, very fun. It's good to be back. Hopefully I can get some more time racing against these guys, and yeah, so guys, give us a follow. I'll let you know. Well, I want to still keep you guys up to date with what's going on at the 24-hour. Like I say, we are still busy with that type of stuff, but yeah, like, subscribe, share, guys, tell your mates. I know it is lockdown, it's nice and cold here in South Africa. I've actually got the heat on right in front of me. Thanks for watching.